Hi, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors YouTube channel. And we've got something very unusual going on with Best of Us Investors. We're starting a committee, a analyst committee of 5 plus myself and Andrew, people who are analyzing stocks that are suggested to us by the members of our Discord. And this Sunday, we met for the first time to kind of work through the format of how we're going to present this to our tribe members. What their essence going to do is the tribe members are going to recommend stocks that we think have some potential, have some exponential growth potential, and then we collectively, the 7 of us, will each individually analyze them, come together, and then share amongst us, the 7 of us, our feelings on the stock, and then we will share that with our Discord members. So in essence, what we're doing is we're taking right now 18,000 people's ideas, bringing them down to 7 people who have shown a propensity or a knack for doing research and want to do it and want to contribute to the tribe in this way. And then we'll do a video of our conference and share it with the members of the Discord. So that's kind of what we're doing. But I wanted to give you an emphasis as to the impact of this. In the conversation, James made the statement to me, Kerry, how do you feel about what's happening at Pacific BioTech? Now, I own 1,000 shares of Pacific BioTech, currently trading at about $33 a share. And I said, James, what are you talking about? And he said, well, how do you feel about Michael Hunkapiller, Michael Hunkapiller, the ex-CEO, he states, liquidating his shares. And I was embarrassed. I didn't know what he was talking about. And he explained that Michael is 80 years old and he's liquidating his positions in Pacific Bioscience. Well, that shook me up a bit. Let me then go into what I did and share with you my findings. I'll be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Grinkmeyer.
So the first thing I did was go to their webpage and find Michael's bio. And Michael is he was the ex-CEO. He is now on the board of directors. They call him a senior fellow, whatever that means. And it tells me that he was president and CEO of Pacific Biosciences from 2012 through 2020. So he just, within the last year, gave up his position. And he has actually served on the board since 2005. And prior to that, he had spent 30 years at building Applied Biosystems, ABI, which is now a part of Thermo Fisher Scientific Incorporated. So I had a feeling of who he was. A very talented guy, a very committed guy, part of the company. So then what I did was I went and found a record of transactions, insider trading, if you will, of Pacific Biosciences. And what I discovered on March 16th, Michael, that was March 16th, 2020, Michael owned 2,623,215 shares. Now, if we put a price on it, it wasn't at that price at that time, but if he owned that today at $32, that would have been worth $83,942,880. So, with that, I can understand, and I don't know what the rest of his estate looked like. He's an 80-year-old man. and he's got, rounded off, $84 million in one stock. Now, I know something about estate planning, and I know by looking, and I'll show you in a bit, he had almost like a $5 cost basis in this in per share. So he's got a huge tax exposure. Now, what I also know, though, is that if he dies with this and gives it to his children and his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren, they get a step up in basis, okay? So in other words, if he sells it, and let's say his basis is $5 a share, and he sells it for $32 a share, he has long-term capital gains that he has to pay on the difference between the 5 and the 32. That's a sizable tax. And obviously, if what James has told me is true, he decided to go ahead and pay the tax. As opposed to, and I question, think about his financial advisor sitting there and saying, wow, we've got a sizable tax here, but you've got a sizable exposure that what if something happens and Pacific Biosciences goes belly up? What happens? And your $84 million turns into dust. That's an exposure. That's a heavy, heavy decision to be made. So as I looked further, I found that was on March 16th, 2020. By August 8th on 2020, he had reduced his holdings down to 1,421,944 shares. And again, if we value that at today's price of 32, he has reduced his estate's value in this stock from 84 million to 45.5 million. So he almost reduced it by half. Then I looked further and said, okay, let's bring him up to January 2021. He has now got it down from the 2.6 million in March 2020 to 1.4 million shares in August 2020. Now he's down to 48,405 shares, and his value now is down to $1,548,960. Again, from 84 million down to 1,000,005. So is what he did a panic that says this company is going down and I need to get out of it? Or is it just good tax planning, just risk management? I guess that's what it is, risk management. Do I want to be exposed? I still have probably, I don't know what I could guess at what his taxes were on 15% of the sales, but he's probably still got $75 million or $65 million worth of assets there that he can pass on to his heirs, but they don't have the risk that it would have if he left it all in that stock. So my point in all this is I wouldn't have known this. I wouldn't have found it if it weren't for James. If it weren't for James coming to me and saying, were you aware of this? And how would you interpret it? And are you comfortable with it? And what I'm saying, I am. I know enough about Pacific Biosciences that I know they are one of the leaders in the genome sequencing field, up with Illumina. And I believe that genome sequencing, for all kinds of reasons, is going to be a big part of our future. Do I believe that Pacific Biosciences will stay together? I honestly believe they'll be bought out by somebody. And that may have come into Michael's decision as well. I don't know, you don't know, we don't know that they aren't in negotiations right now with Apple or Google or Biogen or Pfizer. We don't know that. I suspect Michael does. And he is positioning himself accordingly, and we need to make decisions of it around it. Again, my emphasis is here at Best of Us Investors, I have access to 18,000 right now members in our Discord who share an interest with me in making good financial decisions. And I don't have to go and dig everything out of the dirt. I have help. And if you'd like to be a part of this, and I don't know of any other YouTube channel, any other mutual fund, any other ETF that is basically saying, come and join us as a tribe and give us your input, and then we will give you back our input on an organized basis so that you can achieve the 3 goals that we have. And that is, number 1, to make good financial decisions. And that is what just happened here between James, Carrie, and Michael. Number 2, to keep more of what we make. Michael just gave up because of estate planning reasons. He didn't want to die with $85 million of his estate wrapped up in one stock. So he made a decision based upon tax code. And then also our goal is that we can pass 24 million in the United States, a couple, onto our heirs. I am comfortable that Michael has achieved that goal, and now it's up to us to achieve the goal on our own. That's where I'm at. I wanted to share this with you. And again, I wanted to invite you. I wanted to invite you to become a part of our tribe, something that I think is very unique. And to do that, go to bestofusinvestors.com and give me your email address and your name, and then I will send you a link to our Discord. There you'll sign up for the Discord. You'll have access to my portfolio. You'll have access what I think is going to be the quintessential gold of our tribe. You'll have access to millions, maybe 1 million minds of like-minded people who want to make money in the stock market. The other thing that we're doing there is we're putting together the Best of Us University, where we're inviting our tribe members to come and teach classes about what they know. And such as Sarah is an accountant. She's going to teach us how to keep more of what we make so that we understand how to own our securities and how to do estate planning and how to plan for college educations, things like that. Then we're going to have a young man who is going to teach not the front end in. What is a short sale? What is a limit purchase? What is a market purchase? So that if you're just getting involved, you have a place to go. Then we're going to have some courses on real estate. I am of the belief that most of us largest asset is our home. And we pay it off, and when we reach retirement, it's there, and we can dispose of it, or we can keep it, whatever. So if it's our largest asset and it can be leveraged very easily, why don't we get a second one? And then lease it out to someone and let them pay for it. And we're going to teach you how to identify the right properties. That's all part of the university. It's all part of Best of Us Investors. Join us. I try to talk to you at least once a day, so I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Go to Best of Us Investors and come join the tribe.